Are you serious? This is serious. Very, very serious, folks. We've had a major earthquake. We've had a major earthquake that has hit Taiwan. A 6.6 magnitude, very shallow. It's only 6 miles deep. It's in a right on the coast. It has created, there's already reports of objects toppled over, buildings damaged. It's way too early to know if there's any casualties, and there is a tsunami wave warnings in effect. So this is very serious. There's been 2 aftershocks even, has hit just moments ago. And so this is a very dangerous situation. Let me tell you all about it. But first, let's put a shout out right now, if we could, for www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Are you among the diet resistant? We've been told forever that diet and exercise are the keys to weight loss. But that doesn't work for everybody, especially after we reach the ages of 35 to 50, where any expert will agree that weight loss becomes much harder. You don't know it yet, but in the next 30 seconds, you're going to learn how to help skyrocket some energy levels, boost your metabolism, and help reach your weight loss goals quicker than ever. Now listen closely, because the secret is elevating your ketone levels with an amazing new keto powder. It will boost your metabolism, helping make your weight management efforts easier than ever. It's at www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. To further reinforce this, it has thousands of satisfied customers. Stop and ask yourself how you'll look 1 year from today if you don't start taking this amazing supplement, the keto powder, with the best ingredients from the keto diet. It's simply this. It's 1 scoop in the soup or in the smoothie, and you'll be feeling great, looking great, and thanking me that you really turned your life around physically. Now, what should you do? Go to www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. All right, guys, now here's what we're finding out about the earthquake that has just hit in Taiwan, a 6.6, and here are the aftershocks. We'll check it right now because there's been 2 aftershocks. One, and then now just a moment ago, another. And now Hawaii has just been hit just about 15 seconds ago. Hawaii has been hit with a 3.0 earthquake. So there's some pressure building, but the 6.6 earthquake that hit very shallow in Taiwan has caused concern for tsunamis, and it's also caused some damage, and we don't know if there's any casualties. It's too early to know that. In the town, the epicenter of the town, which is sitting right on the coast of Taiwan there, is 8,500 people that live right in that coastal town of the epicenter. Now, then there was a 5.1 aftershock hit, and then just about 5 minutes ago, a 5.5 aftershock has hit Taiwan. So it's shaking and quaking over there as this 6.6 earthquake hit in about the last 30 minutes. It's totally on the other side of the world. It takes some time to get an assessment of the damage, but obviously this is a very serious situation that has developed in Taiwan. Let's pray to God that now they are pretty good at building their buildings pretty strong. They're pretty good at it, but they're not as good as Japan, but they are good at it. So hopefully they can weather this, hopefully. But obviously it's concerning, without a doubt. We are very concerned about what has just happened here, and where do we go from here on that? Because, man, the last thing people need is, the last thing we need on this earth is another major catastrophe. But we're very concerned. I may have more information for you in just a moment. There's some more stuff coming in. I'll be right back after this with more on the earthquake in Taiwan. I see geese flying high above the water, the child fishing with his father in the rain. I can smell blackberry brandy and chocolate-covered candy. I see a soldier crying on a train, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. I feel the deepness of his weakness. I can taste the brandy sweetness at a roadside Idaho cafe. I can hear old Teddy laughing, Fitzgerald's toes a-tapping to the roaring sounds of yesterday. Falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And a shotgun blast echoed across the page, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. Yes, that beautiful song. You can find it at my brand new album, Harmonize and Prophesy. Rosh Hashanah feast, of course, coming up September 25th. I think, Renee Evans, you made a great point that the Essene calendar says the Feast of Trumpets is September 20th. Yeah, it probably does. There's about, I don't know, there's 4 main calendars that are used sometimes by the Jewish people, and there's actually more calendars than that they have. It's because different people have different views on how to take scriptures on certain days and the tree festivals and the moons. So there's several different calendars which can cause confusion, and so that's fine. But the one we go with, of course, is the one that's sanctioned by the government of Israel as well as the Sanhedrin and the Temple Institute. So we go with the main one. It's followed the most. But that isn't to say that there isn't these other calendars out there with their point of view. So yeah, thank you for that information, because and that's part of the religiosity, if you will, that brings confusion. Is there's so much of that religion. Jesus warned about that. That's the one thing he didn't like, is they brought so many new rules and regulations and so many different groups. But it happens also in the Christian world. We've seen it between the Protestants and the Catholics and all the different denominations of Christianity that has also confused on different things and different doctrines. But anyway, having said all that, Rosh Hashanah, or the Feast of Trumpets, September 25th. Get your offerings in now, guys. You've got a week here. It starts, of course, the Feast of Trumpets is September 25th. And when you send your offering, send your best offering that the Lord tells you to get, lays on your heart, and include in that your prayer request that you would like for me to take to the wall in Jerusalem when I go in February of 2023. So we certainly don't want you to miss that. And Esdras says that they would corrupt the calendar last days. That's exactly right, and that's in the book of Esdras, which is in the book the 7 books of the Apocrypha, which were in the King James version of the Bible. I have a King James version of the Bible from 1611 in there that has the 7 books of the Apocrypha in it, and it's strange that they would remove that from the Bible. And I think it was the Protestants who removed it from the Bible in 1800 and something. I can't remember. Maybe it was 1880 or maybe 1808. I can't remember. But the Protestants are the ones that removed the Apocrypha from the Bible, where the Catholics did not. And when King James put the canon together, and that it was authorized, the canon, in 1611, it included the Apocrypha. So things like that probably should be in the Bible right now would tell you that in these last days they would corrupt the calendars or bring confusion. And it isn't that they're corrupt. It's just different views. It's different views of how the calendar should be read. Okay? Now, I ain't got nothing against the Essenes, because the Essenes actually were pretty strict. And they were upset with the Pharisees and Sadducees and the Sanhedrin court of the day. They actually got very upset with the Sanhedrin. It's one of the reasons why the Essenes left Jerusalem and went way out into the Qumran, out in the desert. And that's where, of course, we found the Dead Sea Scrolls, and that's where we find, in the Dead Sea Scrolls, we find, some of the old thousands of ancient texts that help us historically, as including the entire book of Isaiah in the Dead Sea Scrolls. But yeah, very cool. Good stuff. So you can find that in the Esdras. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Again, Taiwan. I got lost in my conversation here. Again, we have information about Taiwan. It is a 6.6 earthquake. U.S. Geological Survey has downsized it to 6.5. There's been 2 aftershocks, it's pretty strong. One of 5.1, another one 5.5, also very shallow. This earthquake of 6.6 was only 6 miles deep. So think about this, a 6.6 earthquake that's 6 miles deep, shaking things up in Taiwan. There is damage. There is definitely damage, and there is we do not know about casualties. We hope there's none. It's too early to tell. There is a tsunami warning in effect, so we're trying to see what does that mean. And sometimes you get those, and then they are reduced to watches, and sometimes they're taken away. Or maybe it's a small tsunami. We just don't know. It's too early to tell. We're still watching that very closely. But we also have this information that just got this in, that Taiwan Central News Agency said that the metro system in Kaohsiung City, which is south of the island, has been suspended. So the metro system has been shut down. The quake was also felt very strong in Taipei, which is the capital of Taiwan. And The epicenter was in a very flat terrain area where rice grows. There was about 8,500 people that lived there. So that's some good news, because if it had been more in some of the mountainous terrains, you could have rock slides and mudslides, that kind of stuff happening. But that doesn't mean that this hasn't been a devastating quake. We just don't know. It's too early. But the Bible does say in the last days that there would be signs, and there would be earthquakes in divers places. There'd be all kinds of different concerns, if you will, going on. So again, pray for the people of Taiwan. It's a very shallow quake, 6 miles deep, 6.6 earthquake, 6 miles deep. We need to really pray for the people of Taiwan, because this was a very strong earthquake, and they're going to need our prayers. Hopefully, this thing will not cause any loss of life or casualties, but it's too early to tell. There is damage. There is a tsunami warning in effect, and we do know that the railroad system, the rail system, has been shut down. So we'll wait and see more. I'll keep you up to speed. Stay with me right here on this YouTube channel, as well as check our website out at paulbegleyprophecy.com. And God bless you guys. And still in effect, of course, is the special we're doing. If your tithe and offering, any love gift of $50 or more, we will send you Armies of the Antichrist. You don't have to order it. You just send your love offering. Send in your tithe and offering. And and you do this between now and midnight Sunday night. We will send this. You'll just automatically get this in the mail. Armies of the Antichrist. Armies of the Antichrist. It's a love gift back to you for your support of the ministry. So help us get this gospel message out to the world that Jesus is coming soon. Now, 2 more quick announcements. Tomorrow morning, I'll be preaching under the big tent at Freedom Fellowship here in the Villages in Florida. Okay? And so that's going to start at 9:30 Eastern. My message is Rapture Ready. I've got my notes all done. I've already got it all prepared. I got up early this morning, got that done, and we're ready to go. That's tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night, Sunday night, there is a Sunday night live broadcast right here. That starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then at 10 p.m. Pacific Coast time on Coast to Coast, Vegas time. I guess Vegas is Pacific Coast. Is that right? Is that Vegas West Coast time or Pacific Coast time? Anyway, I'll be on Coast to Coast with George Norrie from 10 to midnight Vegas time Sunday night. For those of you who would like to stay up super late, it'd be great. There'll be 2 million listeners. I really need your prayers and support because it is always a great opportunity to get to speak on that broadcast. This will be my 5th appearance on Coast to Coast. We did some research on this, and all 4 appearances I did are on the archives at Coast to Coast. If you go over there and subscribe, I'm not sure if there's a cost or not. I don't even know, but I know I've been on with George Norrie each time. I was on September 12th, 2018 with George Norrie discussing, guess what? The red heifer. Okay, that was 4 years ago. How that then they had a red heifer in Israel, but that one ended up not being kosher. It was kosher, but by the time it turned 3 years and 1 month, by the time it turned 3 years and 1 month, it was not kosher. 2 years and 1 month, you can't sacrifice the red heifer till it's 2 years and 1 month. By the time it got that old, it was no longer perfect, so it did not qualify. I was on August 12, 2019, discussing prophetic signs of the end of days, Bible prophecy. I also was on with George Norrie on June 10th, 2020, discussing prophecy in the age of COVID. And then I was on last year, June 9th, 2021, prophecy and scientific discoveries. And so this will be my 5th appearance on Coast to Coast tomorrow night, September 18th, 2022. Again, the red heifer has arrived in Israel. And this, so here I am going back to the red heifer discussion. 4 years since the first time I was on there. So it's very interesting. Guys, I'll be back with more information. Just stay with me right here on the coming apocalypse. We're living in the last days. Are you saved? You better be, because we do not know the day nor the hour, but we know the Lord is coming soon. This is the Salvation Station.